Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play HOI4, the New Order as Iberian. Let's continue on for the last let off. So, I did it. I have ended their war in the north. So these guys now are all kind of doing their own thing. And they'll probably all be killed very, very soon. That's my guess. Broadcasting the debates. A question has remained ever present throughout the whole process. It teeters on every meeting and talk that has so far been held. Precisely, what is democracy and what should it entail? While certain liberal adherents believe it entails one key feature, the people and their input, in order to envision a truly democratic reformation process, it must be recommended that the final debate should be broadcast to the whole public to show transparency and a genuine commitment to democracy. All in Iberia, they be rich or poor, Spanish or Portuguese, conservative or liberal, will be able to watch the most important debates and no doubt voice their opinion towards the results. This huge spectacle could have drastic ramifications. While it may show the government has faith in people and show an attempt to make connections with them, it can also cost us dearly. Should the debates go smoothly, we have little to worry about, but if they end up in a disaster, then God knows what the consequences will be from the public. Instability is already too high. I mean, it's not. Like, I literally have great stability. We could keep the debates behind closed door as precaution, but this may also give us signs of their true feelings towards the process. Yeah, so broadcast these things far and wide, but again, like there's no terrorists left. Our stability is considered like so great that we're like on top of the world right now. Everyone in Europe envies our stability. Yeah, now it looks like, are you guys actually going to go to war with each other? Yes, it looks like I've at least fixed your situation here, and I did kick these guys out of the faction. Iberians eagerly await the final debates. For the first time in what seems like centuries, poster and leaflets were seen throughout the Iberia that was not just fangless propaganda or pro-regime material. It was a call-out, a mass marketing campaign unlike anything seen in Iberia before. Walls, lampposts, and shops all had them on display. It was a message to the whole Iberia that perhaps the most important event in its history was about to take place. People first whispered about it, somewhat in disbelief, and then they began to shout about it. While the Iberian Congress was about to broadcast its final debate to the entire nation for the public to see. To those born in Cadilos, Iberia, the proposal seems foreign and alien, yet exciting. A new development that would give a leash public a legal voice in the proceedings of the nation. To those much older, who had seen a society much different than that of Iberia, today there was cynicism, but someone couldn't help but be optimistic. Maybe, just maybe, this could be the real deal. The outcome could be a hopeful one that stops Iberia's decimation. After all, it appears that it's partly in the hands of the people now, does it not? We still have, like, what am I going to do with all the political power? I don't really know. I mean, our stability is still, like, low enough that I can't really do anything here. Okay, the final debates. You've done in 14 days. The armed forces role. The situation in Iberia today is far removed from the past, and these testing times have clearly influenced Iberian political society. For example, it has become a common belief within a certain section of Iberian government that the nation is under the essential threat from the forces of terrorism. It has been alleged that Bolsheviks and separatists have ran rampant in recent past, besieged our great nation with the horrors of urban warfare. There has thus been a clear worry about the current process will not only stop the terrorist threat, but also increase the instability grows in the nation. It is through this worry that the military and its most staunch supporters have stepped into the limelight. The military has very clearly want to have a voice in the current ongoing debates. They, of course, claim that they only wish to do so in order to stave off the threats of instability and terrorism. The more cynical among us, however, deem that they only wish to do so in order to keep their hold on power and stop any sort of reform of the armed forces. Their intentions certainly seem to be wholly political rather than for the love of the nation. Iberia, of course, having a clear history of military involvement in political affairs. This occasion seems no different, but we could put a stop to their meddling in an obvious showcase of our commitment to reform. That being said, capitulation to the armed forces may be necessary in order to stop any separatist threat or leftist plot. Okay, rein them in. I'm sure our stability is probably, our stability is still fine. Like, we've had so many good stability modifiers recently that I'm not worried about this or that negative event happening. And the antagonistic army. The decision of that to so blatantly tell the army that its political backers that they were not needed or wanted in the political process has gone about as well as to be expected with military and its supporters. Instead that such a snob could occur, the army has expressed its deepest disappointment in the decision was taken. But so far, that is all they have done. They have been clearly stopped where they thought they could succeed. The yes men of the previous administrations have evidently made them arrogant towards us. Now they have to be told no. Like an obstinate child, they cry out against a rational choice. They now need to reconfigure. They will now need to reconfigure, but this gives us more than enough time to figure out how to truly sap their power, if needs be, through this process. However, this decision has also irked the military conservative backers, who have likewise expressed their definitive voice of lack of confidence in ourselves in the process. It's plain to see that they don't have what it takes to stop Iberia from falling in on itself, so latch onto the past that no longer exists, but matters little. The process shall go on with no insidious meddling from the armed forces. So we lose a little bit of stability, but really it's not that bad. Again, like, I feel like, I might be wrong, but I feel like we've avoided the Civil War. Like, we have great stability, we defeated all the terrorist elements. So, like, I feel like we're in an okay spot. Again, I might be wrong. Okay, so we got the final debate. A momentous day in Iberian history. After much toil and travail and the many trials and tribulations, the Iberian Congress has now reached its climax. The day of the final debate is soon to be upon us, and all of Iberia holds its breath for the outcome. The debates thus far have not resulted in the shutdown of government or the tearing apart of the nation, but this final debate could set off a match that changed Iberia in an instant. Decades-long ramifications may occur from these debates, going one way or the other, all we decide as the council convenes for this great meeting. Among the councilmen ranked the most important players in the ongoing political process, the highest esteemed representatives from the technocrats, the liberals, the conservatives, the army, the regionalists, have gathered to shape the future of the entire nation. We have come too far and sacrificed too much for this great day to descend into petty squabbling, for all of Iberia is counting on this council to deliver something that would stop the bloody decline of Iberia. Iberia has seen itself through violent separatism, civil war, treachery, public strife, the Bolshevik and German menace, but it could now slip up now and forever remain a shell of its former self. It is up to this council now to guarantee this tragedy does not occur. Civil liberties reforms pushed. As representatives of the Iberian Council toil away at the reformation process, one proposal has surprisingly enough, been pushed through with some success. Led, directed, and whipped into action by the technocrat faction of the council, a proposal for the strengthening of civil liberties has found its way to the forefront of the debate process. WWII's liberal allies have helped along this process, which could change the very nature of the future Iberian regime. For decades, the nation has been ruled by strongmen and their hegemonic grasp on civil society. Now that power could be broken as the right of the individual looks to be ratified under these reforms. The reforms are no doubt drastic, a total overhaul of the formal principles of Iberian civil society, and the reforms are sure to find antagonists in the army and the conservatives. But for now, the reforms seem to be have the momentum of a runaway freight train. If the current proceedings occur without hiccups, then the technocrats and their allies have accomplished a remarkable victory with this legislation. Okay. Stronger reform, more stability, more support for market liberal. Due to the popularity of this debate broadcast, more Iberians appreciate this. Okay, we're at 36% stability now. Again, we do want to go for the call forth of Congress. Special regions pursued. Okay, apparently I did not pause the game. Also, did something happen? Coup d'etat brings an end to the Indonesian Civil War. Did they go free? Okay, no, they are now democratic. So I'm assuming they've now gone and probably aligned themselves more with the United States. Anyways, the special regimes pursued. Special regions pursued. A couple of years ago, it would have been unthinkable for what is currently occurring in the council to actually transpire. For decades, the people of Iberia and their political representatives have scapegoated separatism to the nth degree. They have long called out against the fifth column element of sinful separatism, naming it as one of the biggest dangers to the nation. This paranoia has previously led to a lack of self-determination or minority representation of the Iberian state. This, though, could be about to change. With the usage of their current political skills and desperate tactics, the regional faction of the council has managed to gain sizable momentum behind their attempts to pursue a special regions program. The program will result in a real and new change to the Iberian political system, with far greater autonomy being granted to Iberian's minority regions. The success of the regions could surely be attributed to their strong connections to the dreams of autonomy, while some still say that they pursue a hidden agenda of fully fledged separatism and a disintegration of Iberia. This has not been shown in the Council as the Special Region program looks to set to get passed. So more stability, more liberal democracy, and more stability. Okay, so you guys are still all fighting it out. And I'm assuming these guys will soon, eventually fight amongst themselves. I don't know when that's actually going to happen, though. Crisis in Nanjing? Okay, well, who knows what's going to happen over in China? A light in the shining darkness. There was high hopes for the Iberian Congress to not only deliver something meaningful, but to pass something everlasting as well. Maybe, just maybe, this wish has come to pass. What has broadcasted? What was broadcasted to the nation was not a tired-out squabbles of old men, not the drawn-out infighting of political establishment, and nor was it the disenfranchised debate done merely to placate the people. Instead, what transpired was the making of a solid reformist concession that looks to usher in a new era of newfound optimism for Iberia. The streets, for the first time in what seemed like an entire generation, were packed out with hearty celebration of freedom and hope. The young and old had come together, raising the flag of the Iberian Union with renewed pride. More conservative inclined Iberians conceded defeat here, but not in a way that sought to sow division in Iberia. There was to be, for now at least, no dramatic knee-jerk, and instead it looked as though there had been a consent given to the results of the debates. A real great and hopefully everlasting accomplishment had transpired here. With it, looks like a new dawn is to arise in Iberia. In a world of darkness and despair, now is a chance for Iberia to set itself apart from the rest as a beacon of hope. 150 political power, more stability, more support for liberalism. And I'm assuming that means call forth the Congress. We still don't have enough stability to actually fight black market stuff, though. And now we are strongly reformist. We have another payment to the dam soon. That is completely okay. I guess we can also research something. I mean, it's almost 1970. Why not get some 1970 infantry equipment? Yes, you're gonna have trouble in Nanjing. Is that like a new damage control? So is this the best of both worlds? Apparently, guys, all is not well. As soon as they were almost, I guess they should have still had to do a little bit more for their Congress. And was it Jinhana also has a focus tree? Yeah, I'm surprised your focus tree actually lasts like as long as it does. A windy morning in Madrid. Okay. When Tarantico Fernandez Miranda had entered the Palace of Cortes that morning, he'd expected Valicra's speech to be one of the mundane, frankly routine nature. Even as the winds of change flew over Iberia and her government, nothing could have prepared him for the sudden announcement that Iberia would undergo a democratic transition. Hell, it would have been a dramatic news had the Valicra announcement had not democracy was an aspirational goal to slowly build over the next decade. But within months, Frege, along with hundreds of others sitting in the council, found it all hard to believe. In the rest of the speech, Valicrez outlined Iberia's need for a democratic transition, how its elections were to be organized, and the transitionary role of the Caudillos in the new system. Frege did not really pay attention, still too stunned by the news, but ever so slowly the world started to make sense again. And slowly Frege became more and more excited. He stepped outside to take a deep breath. Perhaps it was the fresh air, or perhaps just getting outside. But that is when it really set in. After centuries of kings and queens and many decades of dictatorship, Spain and Portugal would truly be free. Taranco, where the hell are you? We've been looking everywhere, shouted an eager Alberto Utres as he stepped outside himself. His smile was wide like a young child on Christmas morning. He stepped towards Fernandez Miranda, embracing him and patting on his back. God damn, I never thought I'd see such a day. Alongside him was Manuel Fraga, the man who could claim more honesty than anybody else to be the lead architect of the new Iberian project. He had spoken with the Caudillos on numerous occasions, urging political reform as he stepped towards to truly eliminate corruption and to ensure stability within the Iberian Union. And now he had succeeded not through violent revolution or a destabilizing coup, but through peaceful reform. No longer would the masses cry out with rage for a want of a voice in governments. No longer would corrupt officials clean the power for lack of means to remove them. The old Iberia was coming to an end faster than he had ever dreamed. Who's a remnant? Is a remnant Franco? No, okay, well, you know what? We'll do this first. We're removing all the former hardline elements of the Iberian government. Yeah, and I mean, again, we don't need Gibraltar Dam to be open. It's completely okay as is. Like, what's America doing? Because they should be having, I guess they did have an election. I guess Johnson won a second term. Oh, wait, there's another war happening in South Africa? The Boer Republic has broken... Wait, what's happening? What's happening down here? Union South Africa. The Second South African Civil War? Huh, okay. So you got the Boer Republic. The Carnion Defense League. South African Liberation Front. Yeah, more people are going to war in Russia. That's completely okay. So you two are not at war, and you're just kind of doing your own thing. I don't know if maybe this is, got Lesotho, Swaziland. Cafe talk. Yeah, it just sounds like fantastic news. All this class struggle talk seems like moonspeak to average people. Oh, do not smack the microphone. They were decidedly more savvy and reasonable when they announced the Bella Manifesto. The Portuguese took a sip of his Coca-Cola while glancing at his two Spaniard comrades. Under the shadow of the cafe awning, summer in Madrid outdoors could be tolerable, even in his brand new woolen suit. I don't know why the exiles refused to just look at the situation. Their recent change in rhetoric makes everything left of Franco look insane. He chuckled a bit before continuing. Well, you're one of the Fennecs yourself. Indeed, his friend had been arrested by Salazar's goon one more time. Or more than once. Sitting to his left and cleaning his glass, the third man, a civilian, gave a nod in agreement before laughing at his joke. Look, I am Marxist at heart, but we can't ignore reality. What we need is a party like they have in the United States. What's his name? Harrington. All three nod in cynical agreement. I think we could get something like that here. Hell, the church might even like it. The Portuguese in the group decided to retort, yeah, that's all well and good. But what do we do about all those people that worked for them? They knew that the cathedral's favorite underlings would never get a trial, no matter what Germaz de Asada and the other exiles wanted to believe. I'm just butchering every single name in this. We could get ahead of the curve, you know. If we can get the first shot at being the only reasonable people left of the Fra. He thought for a moment about it. Philippe Galland's president of the Iberian Federation. You could get used to the idea. Of course, so could Sraz and Gria, who were each imagining their own inauguration as the social democratic leaders that bring Iberia to prosperity and justice. I butchered every name in that like 5 different times, and I apologize. Sure, let's get tactical swear. I apologize if you are Spanish and or Portuguese. The Austrian South Africa. There's another war going on. The Merganians are here in South Africa. So what are you? Restoring order to South Africa. Huttig's divisions. Are you Huttig? Yeah. So I guess you're intervening in this war now. Again, like, you're not all fighting each other. Okay, Lyndon B. Johnson, yeah, he did win a second term. So, I mean, America's going, like, a pretty similar route that we did when we were playing as the United States. I mean, I can't imagine you're going to win. 3 to 7, 10 to 15, 13? I mean, like, some of you guys are not actually even at war. Okay, and you guys are still declaring war on one another. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if, let's say, West Russia was the one to actually unify this area. Like, you're gonna fight both these guys. El Soto Atomica. The popular comic strip written and illustrated by Francisco Abez has just released its first long-form adventure. As operatives of the spy agency TIA, Mortani and Philemon were dispatched by Professor Bacterio to infiltrate the nation of Trania, a highly militarized German-speaking country ruled by Heinrich Heinz with an iron fist. Our problem heroes must enter the tyrant's palace and recover... They must recover something. Okay, any resemblance of reality is purely coincidental. Germany, don't get any funny ideas. It's just a lovely comic strip. And also, Burgundy, don't nuke the planet. I don't know if you... I'm sure you'll think... I'm sure you're thinking about it. But don't do anything. Okay? Okay, at least we're on the same page, Iberia. Not Iberia, Burgundy. Okay, draw a front line out like this. Does this not give us an event? We've replaced crippled sovereignty now with weakened sovereignty. Which means now we can actually fight against black arms trading. So wait, what does this even do? Something blocks attempt to make real progress. The process would be, of course, be Marcelo Canto. As a newly dictatorial empowered man, it's clear that if he was given any sort of leading role in the Congress, then he would act in a manner in bad faith and sabotage. I thought he was a reformist. Was he not the reformist leader? Maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about. Oh, so I'm still surprised, like, none of you guys have decided to go to war with each other. Maybe you gotta wait for these. No, you don't gotta wait for these guys to be done. Like, I'm pretty sure when we played as, in Russia, we didn't have to wait for these other countries to do anything. But maybe it's 1970 is when they're able to start unifying all of Russia. Again, I'm not 100% too sure. So when are you going to be done? You're going to be done in... Your more political power gain, another 2% stability. We've prepared our administrators. Despot. Are we currently despotic? Yes. Limited sacrifices. Well, let's rotate the generals. Actually, no, let's go limited sacrifices first. But I do think that at least for right now, it's going to be a good time for us to end this episode. So thank everybody for watching. I say Anthem. If you enjoyed, run a thumbs up. Not doing, click thumbs down. If you want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.